Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome. So today we're taking a look at another amazing ship from the Steam Workshop. Hang on, this isn't from the Steam Workshop, this is from the DRF fleet. This particular ship here is the Star Hopper, designed by Pebble, and if you know anything about Pebble ships, they're extremely reliable, they're tough, and they pack one hell of a punch, something you really don't want to get into a brawl with. So let's actually have a look around the ship, have a look at its really cool design sort of thoughts. And this ship is truly designed for a PvP mindset where redundancy is key, as well as correctly arming and balancing your ship. So if we come to the front of the ship, you'll notice it has a very narrow profile. This does two things. It presents less of a target to the enemy, as well allowing it to be printed. You don't see any strange engine bay cells sticking out here that would be awkward to print. If the DRF want to get lots of ships out quickly, we need an efficient rectangular sort of design. And Pebble has really put the icing on the cake with this. Anyway, let's go to the front of the ship. So the first thing you'll notice is these spotlights. Now the spotlights do two things. They intimidate the enemy and they allow you to illuminate your way through space. Say for instance around a dark asteroid, you can illuminate a building platform and do other more utilitarian actions with them. But from a distance, when that's coming towards you and you see them spots, they are mighty intimidation. And especially behind that, we've got the missile turret. So if I spawn into my character and move a little bit further forward, you'll notice behind each one of these doors we have the door actually protecting a missile pod, and when these missiles unleash, I'll tell you, it is damn scary. I'll show you that in a moment when we take it for a test flight. Like I said, Pebble is key with redundancy, so we've not just got one camera in the center, we've got one at the top, one on the bottom. So perfect, it's going to last in a firefight and we can continue to aim this vessel. Now you'll notice that there's this particular area here that has been spaced out between the actual main armaments and the rest of the ship. This acts as a little bit of a buffer zone. Since them missile launchers, them lights are going to be targeted, you're going to buy yourself a little bit of time for the weapons on the side. Now where this ship really comes into its own is when it gets side on or turns to face the enemy. Since it's this very simple rectangular shape, it allows it to get maximum firepower on the target and devastate it from 3 layers of turrets. So along the side we've got ourselves the Gatling guns that are layered at these key intervals to intercept fighters and incoming, well, smaller ships and whatnot. And then we've got the missile launchers here. Now the key thing about missile launchers that I've not included in other videos, especially the testing, is the percussion they have. When a missile launcher hits a ship, it can knock it off course, and doing so can cause it to crash into other vessels and do a few other things like that. So missile launchers can still be quite effective, and Pebble's used them really quite effectively here. So you can see on the top, the bottom, all the sides are really quite similar. We've got these little ridges, protection points, so if an explosion goes on this side, it'll stop the turret from being damaged on the other, as well as these recesses. So as rockets and other weapons sort of interrupt with them, it's going to have a really interesting time breaking through. Say for instance a missile impacts this particular area, the armor around it will not be effective. Really thinking about each particular design element of the armor. Now, if we cut into these little pods here, you'll notice that we've got nice thruster protection as well as decoy blocks behind these points. Now, these decoy blocks are going to draw the fire away from the central of the hull and to these little unimportant nacelles. So other targets on, well, other machine guns, turrets will be targeting these pods before they target the rest of the ship's weapon systems. That allow us to get a few more volleys off. Now, decoys are absolutely crucial. So we've had a look at the main section. You've noticed how the thrusters have been tucked into all these locations, but still very well armoured. We have an antenna on the top, of course, so we can send commands to it and also set it up for remote control. And as we come towards the rear, you'll notice this hydrogen area. Now the hydrogen area allows it to fight the gravitational well, also enter the gravitational well. That's quite important because with ion thrusters alone, sometimes a ship will struggle to escape the gravity well, where with the hydrogen you could always lead a ship with not enough power into the well, lets it get sucked in and you could blast yourself off. Now talking about blasting off, we've got ourselves these really nice thruster housings, and Pebble thought about it. He thought, what about if someone gets inside my thruster and starts doing some damage from inside here? Unless they get burned, he's actually tucked in these little interior turrets into this section to actually protect it. We've got some beacons and you can see that these are actually housed behind this, so if there's any blasts going off in this area, it'll most likely be absorbed by the armor plate and not directly in the thrusters. But if it is, we've got another 3 thrusters on the rear to deal out some damage. We've got connectors on either side here tucked away, so if they do get damaged in a firefight or they do need to be rearmed quickly, they can be done. So let's pop up here and enter inside this guy. And since this is purely a combat vessel, we've got ourselves the simple double airlock, and we enter into what I like to call just the variety of cockpits. We've got cockpits in every section. So for instance, in a lot of ships, the main area might get destroyed, the cockpits might happen. You could simply move into the next section, seal it up, that could be breached. That area could be breached, seal that up, and you can continue moving and controlling the ship from the different sections as you go through. Very, very useful. Pebble's also added these little access areas that are defended by interior turrets as well, so you can go into the lower sections, charge up the reactors, the other devices, and just make sure that you can repair all your segments. You'll notice that there's a few thrusters inside here as well, so even if the exterior thrusters are shut up, you can still control this thing really damn easy. If we go a little bit further back there, you can notice we've got some assemblers, we've got some other components. We've also got ourselves 2 jump drives, so this can jump into a sector extremely quickly, as well as produce its own ammunition. Now let's access a control seat. So the control seat, you'll notice, the first thing is just how agile these guys actually are. So let's just make sure it's shared with me, and I think we've got some pirate signals going off, so let's just check this out. Remember, this has got full vanilla weaponry. That's 9 away, that's 9 away. We'll head in its direction. You can see how fast them hydrogen thrusters get us up to speed. So we're almost in range now. You can see the enemy signals are getting really close. We've got 2 of them out there, but I don't think that'll be a problem for the Star Hopper. We'll incinerate these drones. Let's look at that wave of missiles going towards the target, as well as the Gatling guns. I've not even seen any return fire. I think we've had 1 impact on the rear. That pirate ship got absolutely destroyed. Since I've got really good maneuverability, I can quickly turn around and bring myself back onto target. I believe that actual impact was their own missiles firing against each other. So there is no signal at all coming from that craft, and we've taken no damage. No damage at all. And of course, if we wanted to open up our little doors at the beginning, let's try to avoid blowing ourselves up. Let's roll it around. Yeah, there is nothing left of that pirate outpost, and we've taken absolutely no damage. I'm not sure if that was even armed, but to be fair, it just shows you the vanilla weapons firepower and just how much velocity they do have. It's intimidating. I love it. Right, the final thing we want to do is test out the weapons on the front. So let's go to our groups. Let's assign our rocket doors to the hood, and we'll have them on open and close, and we'll also assign the rockets to shoot on and off. That's probably most effective. So let's open up them doors. Doors are, oh, that's so cool. I've got to do that again. Doors open up and missiles fire away. Yeah, this is going to be devastating. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. That was just a quick look at the Star Hopper. I believe Pebble's got 4 of these guys, one of them modified in the colony world at the moment. So these are going to make up the backbone of the drone fleet when it comes to fighting Jack. So we're going to have some really interesting situations here on our hands. Anyway, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.